On Monday, the Big Ten Conference announced its women's basketball End of the Year awards. And for the second straight year, we have a repeat winner for the Defensive Player of the Year. And it goes to Northwestern's Ashley Deary. The senior this year became the Big Ten's all-time steals leader. That was a record that stood for 20 years. And oh, by the way, she, of course, is Northwestern's all-time steals leader. On top of that, she set 3 different single-season steals records in Evanston. So Ashley Deary back-to-back as Defensive Player of the Year. And here is your look at the all-Big Ten defensive team. Deary, the only unanimous selection to go along with Alexis Gassian of Indiana, Maryland's Brianna Jones, Shatori Walker-Kimbrough, and Purdue's Ashley Morissetti. So let's bring in the top theft here in the Big Ten. Congrats, Ashley Deary. What pride do you take in your defense?
A lot. I feel like it allows me to create havoc on the court that puts myself or my teammates in a position to get steals, and allows us to get transition offenses, which is what we want to do.
I mentioned the league mark that you broke. It stood for 20 years. At what point did you start thinking about breaking that record?
It never really occurred to me. In fact, in games, I don't even realize when I'm, like, how many steals I have or anything like that. I just try and play hard, and what happens, happens.
I've described you as a water bug in doing games. I know other people have described you as a pest in a very complimentary mode, of course. What adjectives, what's the best way to describe your style of defense?
I've heard all of that. I think one time a ref called me a grasshopper, just kind of all over the place, not really sure where I'm going to end up. So I like just to create havoc in any way that I can.
And you certainly do that. So who do you study as a defensive player?
I study my opponent. So like I watch their belly button, I watch their dribble count. A lot of people kind of have a hitch before they make their move. So just watching film before the next game is really a big key to what I do on the court.
Have you always been that kind of player since you started?
For the most part, in high school, my coaches really hammered being defensively minded, and as long as you play defense, the rest is going to fall in place. So just watching the belly button, move your feet, and stay in front of people.
I was going to ask, you know, if you're teaching defense, what's the first thing you're going to talk about? Is it that exact skill?
Yeah, to just keep your eye on their belly button because their body can't go anywhere. Like, people can do a lot of stuff with the ball, but you got to watch their belly button because they can't move without that. So,
is there anyone in the WNBA, in the NBA, in the college level who you tried to mimic defensively?
Not so much mimic, but I do admire Draymond Green's effort on defense.
Effort on defense, not his rebounding. That's interesting. Why is that?
Just the way he plays. He plays with heart and passion. And I kind of try and do the same thing whenever I'm on the court. Just play with heart and passion, get steals, get rebounds if they're there. So,
let me just ask you sort of a big picture Northwestern team question since I have you here. You have been a part of really a remarkable senior class. Now you're in a stretch where you're going to play maybe your final few games. You don't know if the next game is going to be your last. How do you sum up maybe this mentality of your senior class and your Northwestern team right now?
Right now, we're just willing to fight. We know that every game is important, and at this point, for us 5 seniors, all we can do is leave it all on the line. Some are going to go play afterwards, some aren't. So regardless, like, we have to fight for each other, and that's really going to be the theme for these next few games.
Okay, finally, and I was told I could ask this, so I'm going to ask about the elephant in the room, and you might know what's coming. Social media went crazy, ironically, not on a steal that you had, but when a player took the ball from you. And to set the stage, take us back now to your thought process. Last week against Rutgers, when you thought you had time to tie your shoe and KK Sanders had other plans.
Yeah, I kind of just looked at the ref, like, can I tie my shoe? She kind of just shrugged at me, and so I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go for it. Kind of patted the ball down so I could still pick it up if I needed to, and I just didn't calculate the timing of it, the situation, kind of just a mental blip at that moment, so, yeah.
How much social media interaction have you gotten since then?
A lot. I I think I got over 100 followers on Instagram from that, and then everyone's like sending me the video, like, what were you thinking? I'm just like, I don't know, I just wanted to tie my shoe. I didn't want to get hurt. I don't know. It was just, looking back, it's funny. At the moment, it really wasn't.
Hindsight is always 20/20, so I hear. So I guess the real question is, Ashley, Deary, how many times are you going to knot your shoelaces now?
3, to be safe.
3?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for being a good sport about it. Again, congrats on being the Big Ten's Defensive Player of the Year back-to-back years. And I'm going to say I think you stole away this interview as well.
Thank you.